Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 14th in our series of Tea Tuesday events and the 9th of 2021. My name is Hilary Woodhead. I'm Napa's Executive Director, and I am delighted to host these live events, which enable me to drink tea. I've got my new and favourite Dashhound mug today, and chat with industry professionals about the things that they love. I really do have a terrible job, don't I? This is a free event. If you'd like to make a small donation, please do, perhaps the price of a cup of tea or coffee. You can do so by text or on our donate page. My colleague Gianna will share the details of how to do that in the chat. So today I am delighted to be chatting and drinking tea with Alison Teader. Alison is Programme Director for Arts in Care Homes, Napa's National Arts Campaign. And today we're discussing the topic of mutual interest, why the arts? So we're going to spend the next half an hour or so chatting about the importance of arts in care homes, and we hope that you will have lots of questions. Please join us in the chat. Our live audience, please ask us your questions and share your comments. I think we've already got some questions and some chat going on already, which is great. So hello, Alison. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for Tea Tuesday. Nice to see you. Hello. So just to start us off, Alison, will you tell us a little bit about yourself and why embedding arts into care provision is an important area of interest for you?
Thanks, Hilary. Yes, it's lovely to be here with you and everyone. So the arts have always been important to me personally. Growing up, I loved music, visual arts, did history of art at university. And you know, it was very, very important to me and my identity, I guess, growing up: visual arts, music, film, creative writing. And I did some voluntary work at a mental health day centre running an art group, and I was fascinated by what I saw and the benefits I saw and the way it allowed people to express themselves. And then I was lucky enough to see a job ad in the local job centre for an arts and education coordinator for a housing trust. Went along not really knowing much about it, but thought that sounds interesting, and ended up working for over 20 years for a London-based housing provider, overseeing a programme of arts in care homes, sheltered housing and supported mental health schemes. And during that time, I worked very closely with residents and staff, learnt so much from them, and seeing firsthand the massive benefits, all kinds of things. It really was an eye-opener to me from the first day I started until the day I left, over 20 years later. And also building up relationships with local artists, arts organisations, galleries, big arts institutions, and seeing the benefits of those partnerships, and how by having a regular ongoing arts offer, which we did in all 8 of our care homes and the other schemes, you could grow with people, and people will come along with you. They'd sort of trust you after taking part in something, and it actually became part of their lives, and it was part of the care provision. And that really is why I'm so passionate in talking and thinking about how can we embed arts, creativity and cultural participation into care settings.
And I can just hear and feel your enthusiasm. I know that this is obviously a job that you love and that you put your heart and soul into. And we're very, very lucky to have Alison at Napa. We do treasure you and all that you do and all that you've done over the last couple of years on the Arts in Care Homes project. So I really do want to just to kind of, you know, emphasise that, because your passion and your commitment really does come across. I know we're going to hear a lot more about that this afternoon. So, you know, given the current situation, given what care homes have been through, and I think we can use that terminology, over the last year or 18 months, you know, some might say, well, actually that, you know, the arts are an extra. They're not an integral, essential part of care, particularly given that we've been firefighting. What are your thoughts on that? Where does arts fit in at a time of crisis, do you think?
I absolutely understand that, and it's something, you know, I question is, you know, how much of this is you know, an add-on. But actually, I think the thing that we've seen, certainly throughout the work I've done, but also during this particular time, is that actually the arts allow us to deal with and express the absolute nitty-gritty of life, the essentials, really. They allow people to express difficult things. They allow people to connect with each other, and that's what's been so incredibly powerful, you know, during this time, communities connecting with care homes to do creative things. They also provide motivation and stimulation. I mean, we heard from one lovely care setting. Only yesterday I got an email saying, we loved doing last year's National Day of Arts in Care Homes, which is an event that we'll talk about a bit more later. We loved it so much that the minute we finished, we started planning for 2021 and what we were going to do.
Fantastic.
And it kind of, it's not just about the one event or session, it's about the fun of planning, involving everyone, hearing everyone's voice, celebrating everyone's uniqueness, their difference, what they have in common, what their likes and dislikes. So I really would argue that the arts create a creative approach, and cultural participation are not just an add-on. They need to run through care provision, and the benefits, not just for residents, but for staff too, for relatives, for volunteers, for the artists as well that are involved, are massive in terms of well-being, happiness. And we're talking about more than just keeping people alive here. We're talking about more than their physical needs, which are very, very important, but also about people's emotional and mental needs. And surely they, in terms of quality of life, that's absolutely crucial, and the arts have a big role to play in that.
Absolutely. I think sometimes, and I know we've chatted about this before, people think about the arts, you know, what do we mean by the arts? And there might be some concerns or some barriers around what we mean by the arts, but we're not just talking about painting and drawing, are we? You know, what are we talking about really when we talk about the arts in care homes? What does that really mean?
Definitely. And often it is funny how when you say art to many people, the first thing they think of is painting and drawing, which absolutely we're big supporters of. I love visual arts, but also dance, music, creative writing, poetry, but also the everyday creativity, which is something that I've seen that term, people are talking about that much more, and it's these little creative exchanges, the importance of craft, flower arranging. I saw the most lovely post about flower arranging, icing cakes, you know, decorating cakes. But so it's the arts in all their forms, but also not just actively participating. Not everyone will want to do that. We hope that if something's presented in a nice way, it might give people confidence to try something new. Yeah. But some people might like to access the arts and culture by watching a film or watching a musical performance, hearing a poem, and that's their way in, and that's enough for them. And that is totally, we support that and want to encourage that. And just the other thing I would like to say is that, you know, we're very aware that the arts world and the world art can feel rather elitist. And, you know, many people may feel, I'm not an arty type, I'm not an artist, that's not for me. And the thing we're trying to push really is that, yes, everybody is creative and can benefit from creativity in different ways. You don't have to be an artist to benefit from hearing a wonderful poem, being transported by a piece of music, or just dancing out your frustrations on a Friday afternoon. You know, I feel that, you know, we can all benefit in different ways.
Lovely, thank you for that. And I think also when we think about, you know, arts and arts in care homes, you know, who lives in a care home? Who are the arts for? Is this just about older people? Is it just about care homes? How do we work? I mean, I know that you're working really collaboratively with a whole range of organisations. Could you tell us a little bit more about your thoughts on how we can make sure that this is accessible for everybody, really?
Yeah, I mean, we absolutely believe in the importance of the arts and culture for at every stage of life, and we feel people can benefit at every stage of life. Napa's members, a large majority are care homes for older people, and so we've been talking a lot about this whole issue of creative ageing. There's masses of interesting stuff going on there, but we are very keen to stress that the work we're doing is for all care settings. There's fascinating stuff being done, work with young adults. And I think Napa's really keen to build on that, really, and to work with more partners, not to leave behind our audience of care homes for older people, but to add to it and to extend the offer. We want everyone to feel included and take part.
Absolutely, we do. And if you're out there listening to this and thinking, oh, we didn't know that, please do get in touch. And we'd love to hear from you and what you're up to as well, if you represent some of those other services that might not be described as older people's care homes. So please do, drop in the chat any comments about that, or do get in touch with us afterwards. So, we talk about arts in care homes. We work towards perhaps, or we're working towards what a daily offer might look like. We have the National Day, but how is it working in practice? Over the last couple of years, what have you found has worked or is working well in practice?
Yes, I mean, we're talking a lot about this idea of a daily arts offer or an embedded approach. It's a bit of not the best term maybe, but I think the point is to see an approach where arts, creativity, culture are ongoing. They're a regular part of the programme. They're not something that is just a project that stops and starts. They're woven through everything in different ways. Yeah. And I think the way that we've seen it work, the way that we feel confident that this is possible and is something to aspire to for all is that we've seen care homes where it's happening, and I think how that happens is a mixture of things. It's an enthusiastic manager who totally gets it and gives permission to staff and encourages staff to be creative and bring in parts of their own interests and lives into work. Those connections with the local community, so those links with schools, those links with a local museum, with a local art gallery, with a local artist or volunteer, so that they're coming in, working alongside work that staff are doing, in terms of doing perhaps more traditional activity sessions. Yeah. And I think we've been doing a consultation around creativity and culture in every care home, and a little sneak preview, because we're going to be sharing our findings on the 24th. But one of the responses that we are getting from staff, in particular in care homes, is the need for more resources. It's also issues around time and money. And I think something we're trying to say really is that these things don't always have to cost a lot of money. Obviously, having an artist in, they need to be paid fairly. Yeah. And there's a financial aspect to that. But I think there are simple ways of using the arts on a daily basis that don't have to cost lots of money. A daily poem, a daily dance, using music throughout daily care provision as well. And I think also sort of combining working with artists and art therapists, a slightly different approach, although they overlap in certain ways. Yeah. But they have different roles to play, which are very important, and particularly end of life. The role arts to play there is in palliative care is very, very important as well.
Absolutely. And just on that, I mean, you know, sort of examples from your own experience, really, you know, where the arts really have made a difference. They've been embedded into care practice, and you can see the difference that they're making to the relationships, the people that, you know, the person has directly around them in terms of their care team, but also their family. Any examples from your own practice on where you've really seen arts make a difference?
Well, I mean, I just, one that I saw very recently, which shows, sort of illustrates how it can work for the whole team within a care setting, was a project that a Care UK home did for the Olympics. And they did a project where they made an Olympic torch, and they had all had fun making it together, and they made the cauldron together. And then they did a kind of walk throughout the home with all of the staff watching and the residents watching, passing the baton on to each other with a violinist behind playing Chariots of Fire. It's very emotional. And you can see all the beautiful artwork on the walls. The residents were cheering, the staff were cheering, and then one of them went to the end and lit the cauldron. And you could see that was a real community piece of art done by the care home, which involved everyone and lifted everyone's spirits. I mean, I can think of lots of other anecdotes as well. Shall I share a couple?
Yes, please do. We'd love to hear them. Yeah.
I mean, there's a really nice one right from the beginning of my career, when I was, you know, really, this was all completely new to me, working with people living with dementia. And we did a project with an organisation called Music for Life, who bring in professionally trained musicians to come and work in care settings. They came in and they were there for several weeks. And one of the first things I noticed, they brought in their instruments. So to have a beautiful violin, you know, these instruments, which are a bit like sculpture in themselves, they're lovely objects. But they'd also do singing games, clapping games, games around rhythm. And what I saw was that actually we were all doing it together, residents and staff all taking part, that the residents, their sense of rhythm was absolutely, even for those people in the later stages of dementia, very still there, still something they clearly enjoyed. And actually in some times their sense of rhythm was better than mine and the staff, and it was a very lovely equalizing thing. But also there was a lady who sat at the side every session. She clearly wanted to be in the room, because the staff said if she doesn't want to be, she'll go. So she sat, and we tried to encourage her to come and join, and she said no, thank you, dear. And each week we'd say hi and welcome her, and finally she said, oh, the reason I'm not joining in, I love what you're doing, but I can't sing, so I don't want, I'm not musical, I don't want to join in because I'll ruin it, because my teacher told me that when I sing I growl like a bear back in school 70 years ago. So we were rather stunned and very saddened by this, but we kept on inviting her to join in, and one day she joined in the singing. She didn't growl like a bear. She had a lovely voice. I mean, not that it matters anyway, but she didn't. And she joined in, she sang, you could see her whole face lit up, her body posture changed. As she walked down the corridor, we could hear her. She was on her way to lunch with a member of the care staff, and you could hear her saying, "Did you hear that? I sang, I can sing." And I think that's really quite a powerful thing at that later stage of life, to have these messages to change them and challenge feelings about yourself.
And obviously it had a real impression on you, because you're still filling up now, how many years later? And this is an example from the early part of your career, but that's really stayed with you. And it is those moments, isn't it, that stay with you. And I'm sure people who are with us today will have moments like that we'd love to hear about. Actually, please share those in the chat, because they are you know, those magic moments do sustain us, don't they, in times when you know, the work is challenging and difficult and we're wondering what difference it will make, but actually we know that it can make a real difference to keep the, I suppose, to keep the invitation open. You know, if perhaps somebody had said, oh, she doesn't like it, we'll take her into another room, you never would have got to that place where actually she did feel that she could contribute and participate. So it's a lovely story, Alison, thank you. So tell us a little bit about the Arts in Care Homes programme. I know we could talk about that all day, couldn't we? But about the programme and the work that you've done so far, and what we can expect really for the National Day and how to get involved. So just tell us a little bit about the programme.
Sure. Well, yes, I should have said that after working for the Housing Trust, I was lucky enough to be asked to work for Napa and to manage the Napa Arts in Care Homes programme. It's a 5-year funded programme. We're in our 3rd year this year, which I can't believe it's gone so quickly already. And the really central point of Arts in Care Homes is our National Day of Arts in Care Homes, which is coming up soon on the 24th of September. And that's a chance really for people to, homes get involved, homes organise an event, and it can be using any, or care settings, using any art form. It can be a great big event or just a simple little, you know, half an hour session doing something nice together.
Right.
And we encourage people to share stories about it on social media using the hashtag AICH 2021. So if you want to see some lovely positive stories on September the 24th, do look at that hashtag, and there will be loads. You know, we're sure we can already see that people are planning. We've got little glimpses of some of the amazing projects people are doing. I don't actually want to give away too much because I think there's some of them want to keep it under wraps, but you know, we hear from the care homes themselves, but also from some of their partners, the arts organisations, the museums, the artists who are working with them. So you can get involved by organising an event on the day, reading some of the wonderful posts if you want to kind of be uplifted on September the 24th, because, you know, we don't want to, you know, we don't want to ignore the fact that it's been an incredibly difficult time for care settings, and we're not trying to play that down at all. But what we have seen and what we've heard by talking to staff directly, you know, right at the beginning of when we were planning last year's event, we asked people, do you still want this National Day? Is it useful? And people said, yes, we absolutely want and need something to plan towards, something to work towards, some excitement for us all to plan for. And we can feel that now. The other thing for Arts in Care Homes, we have a website which is designed as a user-friendly resource. So where you can get ideas, you can get, there are tons of ideas for doing all kinds of arts activities on there. There's stuff about research. There's lots of great organisations doing work in this field. So anyone with an interest in this, please do go there. We're going to have a refresh soon and I'll update it. And the other thing that we've been working on this year is a consultation with the care sector and national conversation about this idea of a daily offer of arts and cultural activities. Is it necessary? Is it needed? How could we get nearer to it? What are the barriers? What are the steps needed? Who needs to be involved? So we will be sharing the results of that on the 24th of September in the form of a digital report, which will be available on our website. We'll also promote it via social media. And as part of our celebrations for the National Day of Arts in Care Homes, we've got several events going on. We've got a panel discussion about this idea of embedding the arts into care provision. That's on Tuesday, the 21st of September. We've also got some free events that care homes, care settings can join in. We've got a dance session happening on the day itself. We've got some other events, all free, which you can sign on to via Eventbrite, and I think you can see the link there in the chat. There are more coming soon because we're cooking up some more plans and some more events as a way of making people feel connected and part of something bigger. So yes, there's a lot going on, isn't there, Hilary?
Amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and to see how the programme has developed really over the last 3 years now, it's just incredible and exciting to see what the next couple of years will bring too. So, you know, good luck for the National Day, and as we've said, we really do want you to let us know what you're up to and to feedback afterwards, and I will remind you about the panel discussion at the end. We have got some questions that have come up. We've got some comments as well, but we've got some questions. This one is, hi Alison, my name is Karen. I'm an activity coordinator in a care home supporting people who are living with dementia. I know my residents love the arts, but I find it difficult to convince my colleagues to get involved. Do you have any tips? That's a good question.
Well, I would say, firstly, I really feel for you, and this is something that we have seen in, you know, in chat groups and things. We've seen this, and it is very hard if you have a passion for this, but the other people you're working with don't quite get it or support you, and that is very difficult. I think, I mean, you might have something more to add to this, Hilary, but I would say, the first thing is maybe people will get on board if you demonstrate, so by seeing the benefits, or maybe by including them or asking them to share some of their passions. So maybe if it's something that they're not really interested in, it's very hard to lead on activities or to plan things when they're on subjects you're not passionate about yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it might be worth kind of almost having a little coffee morning or a chat with people to say, what is it that you really like? What things? It doesn't have to be specifically art, but eventually in a list of things, most people, it will be something related. It might not be at the top, but it might be. So some people might be passionate on nature or animals, and there's a way of kind of doing creative things around that. Or discussing things. So I think that would be my first thing, is to try and get people on board that way, as a way in through what they are keen on or what they feel more confident sharing. That would be my first thing. I don't know what you would add to that, Hilary.
No, I absolutely agree, and I think, you know, the most powerful motivator is other people's enthusiasm, isn't it? So if you're enthusiastic about something and you can share your enthusiasm, that's half the battle, I think. But I know sometimes that it can be difficult to sustain your enthusiasm, can't it, when people around you aren't particularly motivated. But I think you're right. I think if we know each other and we know each other's interests, yeah, there are ways to be creative about everybody's interests and hobbies, isn't there? It's just finding out what those are. And I think also trying to encourage people not to be scared of getting it wrong. I think even in the comments here, there are some comments about, you know, not being very good at art, not being able to sing, you know, I think, and actually, as you said, from your example, your lovely resident who didn't want to sing, even if she had growled like a bear, it wouldn't have mattered. It was just, it's about enjoyment and connections that are made in that moment, isn't it? That's absolutely important. So I think also, if you can role model not being brilliant at something, so if you're happy to have a go and show that you love it, even though you might not be, you know, a soprano or a world famous artist, that demonstrates to others that it's not about being perfect. It's about having a go and giving ourselves an opportunity to express ourselves through the arts, which I think is really important as well.
Absolutely. And that reminds me of something that someone said to me about a good way to get people sometimes to join in things is to have some creative maybe a little space with things, you know, books, pictures, art materials dotted around, and maybe you won't be able to leave them there, so you might need to set it up. And then sometimes even seeing something that someone else has started, you know, maybe do something, a group thing where, I don't know, it's like a big piece of paper where you all put words on, for starters. How are you feeling today? Whatever, just words. And once a few people have done it, it's interesting how that encourages other people. Oh, okay. Especially if it's something quite non-threatening, just add a word. And that can be a way in as well, seeing half-finished pieces of work that other people have done, and making you think again, oh, well, that's not brilliant, is it? You know, I could do something. And absolutely, like you say, sort of that you don't have to be an expert, that we're all trying this together. But I absolutely take on board, it's very hard if it's something you personally don't feel confident about. So I would try and start with something that you like doing, whatever it is, and encourage your colleagues and other people within the care setting to share things with themselves. And we're not just talking about care staff or ACs, activity coordinators. We've seen many examples of how all the staff within the home contribute. A lot of Napa members or ACs actually were hairdressers. That's something I noticed, very, very interesting, that very creative people who loved talking and communicating, and many have gone on to be ACs. So trying to get everyone involved. I hope that answers the question.
I hope so too. We've got another one as well. This one is from John. John says, I have a really small activities budget. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money to buy art supplies. How do other care homes manage? And I think probably this goes back to, it doesn't have to cost a lot. So any additional thoughts on that?
It's really tricky, because we would say that every care home should have an activities budget that allows you to buy some materials, that you should have the facilities to print stuff, access to Wi-Fi, but we know that isn't always the case. And even people don't have cupboards to store stuff. And it's very hard when you're working in situations like that. So we absolutely sympathise, because it does help if you've got some nice materials. Everyone gets excited, and you know, that can spur you on. But I would say that there are a lot of little creative engagement activities you can do, which you don't need expensive art materials, particularly stuff involving poetry. You can print stuff up from the internet. Share some poems, have a read aloud session. So try maybe printing, you know, have, I don't know, 3 poems from different people. So you could have a Spike Milligan, Benjamin Zephaniah, I don't know, Shakespeare, whatever, and try them, read them aloud. See if anyone else wants to read them. Take the time, just enjoying the sound of the words, because actually hearing different words, language, really stimulates the mind, and there's all kinds of interesting cognitive stuff going on. Do you like it? Doesn't matter if you don't like it. Oh, I hate that one, I can't bear it. Why do you hate it? You know, oh, I quite like that bit, that word, oh, that reminds me of, and these things can set off. And even if they hate all of the poems, it can give you a pointer for next time. Let me try something else.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's something that can be done quite cheaply. I think there are actually a lot of resources online now, more and more, and we're trying to share them. Napa is trying to share them for things that you can do at low cost. I mean, something that we've been involved in, and that I see has taken off, other organisations doing it as well, is these pen pal partnerships, where people either in the local community or further afield will become pen pals with your care home. And that can either be through the post or sending emails. And that just gives a new bit of energy, of, you know, inspiration. Someone sending you a picture and telling you about their lives. You can then read it out, share it with the group. What do they think? Would they like to write back?
Yeah.
And again, that's
very low cost, isn't it? Not even the price of a stamp if it's email.
Absolutely. And the other thing I would say, just off the top of my head, is do look at some of the online stuff that museums and galleries are doing now. I mean, obviously that depends on what your Wi-Fi is like in care settings, and we know that that's not brilliant in all, but we have seen a massive leap in terms of using digital resources and Zoom sessions and stuff. But art galleries, museums, their offer has dramatically changed over this period because they're trying to reach out to different audiences. So do have a look at a gallery, and also contact your local museum or gallery. I know that's often on care homes' list of to do, and people never get the time to do it. And that's why I was so lucky in my role. I had the time to do these things. What happened when I did that with a local gallery, I just went for a chat with them. That ended up in a whole program of, they came and did sessions in the care home, amazing sessions with paid artists coming, doing fantastic, very creative stuff, pushing people. They invited us to go to the gallery. They actually paid for the transport as well. It was a bit of a nightmare, so there were lots of pictures on the day, but that's a totally different story. But we came to this gallery. They had this most amazing education room. We had a group of residents from 2 homes with staff in this beautiful room, and we did a printing, collograph printing, which is using textured paper to do printing, something I would never have thought of doing.
Right.
You make a collage, you ink it up, they print it through the mangle, a bit like the printing press, a bit like a mangle. Really quite a complicated thing, but everybody loved it. Everyone enjoyed different stages. That was free for us. And it really, those kind of partnerships, it was free for us, but I must emphasize the artists were paid, they're paid through their own funding. We're not asking artists to do things for free. But if you reach out to those community links, I think you'll be surprised at what you get from that.
Absolutely. And I think now more than ever, really, we really do, it's been such a long time, hasn't it, that we've been inside. It's nice to be able to make those connections again, and whether those connections still have to be partly online, those will, re-establishing some of those connections or starting afresh, particularly at local level, I think, because, lots of libraries, museums, galleries, they've, their footfall has dropped hugely as well, hasn't it? It's important that they keep going and that they build new relationships too. So, it's all organisations, there are benefits to working collaboratively and thinking creatively and working together, aren't there? It's not just about what's in it for the care home. It's absolutely, yeah. Great. Okay, the last question we've got, and I think we might have a couple of general comments as well. This one's from Simone. She says, again, ideas. I just run out of ideas. Do you have free resources? So just another plug about the resources, Alison. Anything in particular that might be helpful over the next few weeks?
I would love to do a plug for Napa's digital calendar. Every month, Napa does a digital calendar. I know my colleagues work, many of them former activity coordinators, so with real first-hand experience of working in care settings. A calendar with an idea for every day of the month, backed up by links to resources. You might not want to do all of them, but there might be 3 a month that you think, oh, that really fits. So that's one thing. We've got lots of free resources we're giving away on the National Day of Arts in Care Homes. There's going to be a treasury of art activities, which is going to have 52 amazing arts activity suggestions, which were created by artists working in care settings together. They've shared their suggestions. We'll be sharing a PDF download of that on the 24th of September and some printed copies. And we're also working with the South Bank on their wonderful Art by Post project. And we're working with them and Nightingale Hammerson and Nina, who I think I saw her name peek in there. I think she's there watching. We're all working to develop a really exciting booklet with lots of different ideas, some quite involved, some ideas for real, like, you know, an hour activity session, but other little creative prompts, little starting points. So please keep a lookout for them. 24th of September, look at Napa and Arts in Care Homes on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. You'll see the links to get these. Give them a go. If you don't feel they work or you want something different, please get in touch. Napa are here and waiting really to respond to your needs and to try and develop things to help. So it's a work in progress, isn't it?
Absolutely, that's brilliant, Alison. Thank you so much, and thank you to those of you who've chatted as well in the chat there. Some lovely comments thanking us for this session. So thank you very much for those. So really just a reminder that we have a whole range of events relating to arts in care homes and to Napa's work more generally on our Eventbrite page. So do have a look on there. I think Jana's already posted the link in the chat. But also to book for the panel discussion that Alison mentioned, and also the dance event actually on the day as well. So, you know, there are various different links there, so please do book yourselves on. And thank you, Alison. Thank you for your time. I know we could chat, can't we? But it's been so lovely to ask you some very specific questions this afternoon about your experience. You know, so thank you for that. And also just a reminder, really, that if you are keen to try something new, if you are wondering about a new idea, a new way of working, do call the helpline, the activity support service. It's there for you. You can ring the helpline and talk through any of your ideas, any of the challenges that you're experiencing, or to share something that went really, really well. We want to hear that too. And that's a free phone line, and we're open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And we also have a closed Facebook group as well, where you can share your ideas and your challenges too. So, you know, please do keep in touch with us. Just a couple of other kind of Napa announcements really before we wrap things up for this afternoon. Our September calendar is out, as Alison mentioned, and our October calendar is coming soon, and the October calendar will be a celebration of Black History Month. So we're really excited about all the inspiring activities that they'll be available in that. So if you sign up to Napa News, and the link's there as well in the chat, you'll be able to download those calendars free of charge. We're also looking forward to the Napa Activity Awards. Again, some familiar names there in the chat that I know will definitely be attending, but this is open to everybody. So if you'd like to attend, do drop us a line and we will send you an invitation. And it's lovely to have as many care services there as possible, as it's an online event. So please do let us know if you'd like to come along to that. And our next Tea Tuesday after the panel discussion is on the 5th of October. And that's with Charlotte Miller from Intergenerational Music Making. So we're going to be talking about intergenerational activities. What does that mean? How do we make it a reality in care services? So finally, panel discussion, 21st of September. Please book on via the Eventbrite page. Please let us know what you're up to for Arts in Care Homes Day. And thank you very much, Alison. Look, we're dead on time. Look at that, 3:15. Wow. Take care, everybody. Thank you for coming, and bye for now. Bye.
Thanks ever so much. Bye, everyone. Thank you.